Thank you very much. I need help. That chapter, I'm asking only $5.50 to open it and read it. It's about the very famous Nixon-Gleason visit to Homestead Air Force Base in 1973,
wow,
where they observed and saw alien beings.
So, okay, hold on, Clark, please.
Okay.
Go to Clark's website, Clark C. McClelland, an American scientist, patriot, hero, and look right near the top. You'll see on the right a picture of Jackie Gleason and Nixon. It's put together, a composite, but they're looking at a case with an ET body inside of it,
yes.
A glass case. The chapter dealing with that, and it is a famous story, and Clark's telling of it brings out far more detail than I've ever heard. You can download it, $5, click right there, and read it. It's amazing. Clark's book is amazing, and if there's a publisher out there, you know how to contact me, and I'll certainly get in touch with Clark.
Yeah,
You're welcome. Back in just a minute. We're back with Clark, talking about, at the moment, the Nixon-Gleason foray to show Jackie something that he never would have been able to see if he had not been friends with the president. Let me read a little bit here from the chapter you can download right now by clicking on Clark's site, right in the obvious location where it says click here. They continued to drive into the base, and Nixon seemed to know exactly where to go. They drove to a far end of the base, and a lone U.S. Air Force lieutenant, Gleason thought that was his rank, wearing a security clearance badge, met them and accompanied the two distinguished men to the hangar entrance. The officer apparently was aware that the President, and Gleason would be arriving. They entered the large hangar with an assigned, single, unarmed military police escort. And all you have to do is click on the site to read the whole story. Jackie, the honeymooners, really a very talented motion picture and film actor, and quite a character, got to see what most of us would only dream about seeing. And Nixon may have been the last president to have direct access to this, huh?
Yeah, I personally, I believe he was, because I think they've kept that out of the knowledge of every president since then. And two, the people he had working with him was Rumsfeld and Cheney.
Oh, yeah, God help us.
And of course, they were up and involved with the government up until the 2000 period.
Yeah.
And I honestly believe the three of them, Nixon, Rumsfeld, and Cheney, have the knowledge that we're talking about now.
Right.
I doubt seriously that Clinton, Bush Sr., well, Bush Sr. I believe had it, but not Bush Jr. He was too stupid.
Well, Sr. had it probably by virtue of the CIA background and
yes,
his connections.
Exactly. He, in fact, declined to have, I think it was, who was it? Carter wanted to know some knowledge of it, and he said, you don't have the right to know that.
Right.
President of the United States doesn't have a right to know that?
Well, that tells us what president means anymore.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Let me say something, please. I have more than one book, Jeff. I have probably 4 books.
Wow. All right.
And
Are we looking?
I have about 53 chapters.
Are we looking for a publisher for all of this, Clark?
Well,
right now?
I've had very little help until recently, and then computers being attacked and destroyed, like happened to me about 3-4 months ago. I had to rush out and spend the last bit of little money I had to get another computer here with the help of my fiance, and bang, it's working. But my God, it's chipping away at me to the point where I can't afford it, and I need some help. make sure
you're well backed up and secure all of your material. It's more than important. There have been efforts, of course, as you're hearing, to make life rather difficult for Clark. Were you, when you worked with the program, Clark, were you known as a troublemaker by the higher-ups, or were you just one of the team?
No, there was fear of the higher-ups of me because of the knowledge I had. Now, there's some out there and say I was a low-level nothing at NASA. Well, let me say this. If I was a low-level nothing at NASA, why was I on SCO testing space shuttles before they were launched?
Mm-hmm.
And I had to have the knowledge of an astronaut to do that.
Right.
I had to have astronauts physical. I have a lot more to tell the people, but it's very difficult to. You see, the media is controlled, as you well know, by you-know-who.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And since they're controlling it, there's no way in the world they're going to let me on most of the radio shows, Larry King and whatever else. And two, if you would mention, please, the comments that were made by Dr. Herman Oberth. That's very important. You have it on the sheet just below Von Braun.
Yeah, let me get to that. I'm looking at the clock here.
Yeah.
How much time we have? Yeah, we do. Okay, let me go right below Von Braun. There. All right, hold on. 50 more minutes. Which graph is it?
It's the first page. It's on July 16th, 1969, the evening prior.
Okay, got it. Prior to the Apollo 11 mission to the moon, there it is. Dr. Hermann Oberth was at a special NASA meeting on Cocoa Beach. I was also attending that meeting. Dr. Oberth and I were talking when I asked him about if he believed in aliens from the stars. He said he disagreed with those historians that give Germany credit for the brilliant rocket accomplishments and pioneering rocket designs. He said to me, quote, "We, von Braun, alone cannot take the credit for our advances in rocket technology. We were helped by people from other worlds."
Yes.
End quote.
I asked what other worlds, and he said Aryans from Aldebaran.
Did we nail down a location any more than Aldebaran?
No, right after that comment, he and his wife were taken from me by NASA again. Away from my presence.
See, this is two Germans who knew the truth.
Yeah.
And were obviously being watched at all times, lest they say something they shouldn't.
Now, let me say this, please. Aldebaran is a giant orangish-red star. It's about 65.1 light years distance from us. Now, 6 trillion miles per year is a light. Is what light travels. 6 trillion miles. So 65.1 is the distance of Aldebaran, which is in the constellation called the Hyades.
Very good. Stand by right there. Clark will come right back. And Aldebaran, Aldebaran, if you want to look it up, folks.
Yes, Aldebaran.
All right, very good. Back in just a minute. All right, let's return to our conversation with Clark McClelland. Two of the most distinguished and brilliant geniuses in rocket scientists ever, Dr. Hermann Oberth and the amazing Dr. Wernher von Braun, both told Clark McClelland the truth. Simple.
That's
no
right.
big secret. I hope you put the book together to the extent that we can all buy it soon, and I would urge all of you again to go to Clark's site at stargate-chronicles.com and click on that chapter available right now, PDF, Help This American Scientific and Patriotic Hero Out. Let's make this happen. It's only $5. It's a great story. I'm going to get it myself. Jackie Gleason and President Nixon view alien bodies at Homestead Air Force Base. Need I say much more than that? I hope not. Now, I want all of you to go. Go ahead, Clark. You want to say something?
Can I say one thing, please?